Hello, hello, and welcome to this week's workshop mini. We're going to be talking about how to revive an old stale blog. And I'm sure you have one of these. We all have one of these that are laying around. And the thing is that we don't want to throw them away because they might be getting some traffic, but maybe we have refocused or we made a new blog and we want to rather get our traffic on the new blog, or maybe we don't want to upkeep the old blog but it's still kind of getting traffic and we're like, what the heck do we do? Okay, so this exact scenario was happening to me. I had this blog. It's called bookpublishingriches.com, and that was like my first book publishing blog, and it was like really ugly, like it was like old school, wasn't like today's beautiful blogs, and I never updated it, and I was never really posting content to it because I just had other things that I was working on, and I just didn't have the time to keep posting content. And because the site was like so ugly, I was like, I don't want to put effort and energy into this. And but the thing is that it was still getting traffic, and I had this lead magnet on there. It was like 10 plus ways to make money with book publishing, and it was actually still capturing leads. So that's another reason why I didn't take it down. So I was going to take a screenshot, or actually I was going to do like a video of what I did to revive it, but I was kind of I'd rather do it this way. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show my main screen. All right. And then what I did was I took a screenshot of what the blog looked like. See, it looked kind of like this, like a basic blog, you know. And this was the lead capture thing here. Get 10 plus ways to make money with book publishing. And people would put in their email there. And I had this old image that I think I spent like 10 hours on. Like I made it myself, and we had money flying out of the Kindle, so that was fun. And then I have these blog posts, and as you can see, the last one was published in 2015. That was a long time ago, and I wasn't really even actively publishing to this. So, but I had a connection here to my new blog here, which is debbiedrum.com. I also had, connections to what I'm doing now, like connect on Facebook. I did update the about section. It's just the content was kind of stale, right? So, put a 1 in the chat box if you have blogs like this where you're not really contributing, but you don't really know what to do with it, and you don't want to necessarily trash it. Thanks, Magdio. Appreciate that. Hey, Donna. How's it going? Neil says, I have several. Yep, lots of ones, lots of ones. Okay, so Dina says, yep, she has them too, for sure. Yep, restarting. Sometimes we have to restart. Exactly, Evelyn, for sure. So here was my thought. Now, because people were still opting into this free gift, wasn't doing a good job at tracking traffic either with Google Analytics. So what I did was, instead of making this like a blog type website, I decided to make it just a lead capture website. Okay, so since it was still kind of getting traffic, I just want to leave that there. Okay, since it was still getting traffic, this is what I did. So if I go to bookpublishingriches.com, it now redirects to this simple web page, right? So there's no blog content. It's just no distractions. It's just a lead capture page, okay? So, and it's really got the same sense of what it used to be. I didn't even change the picture, didn't even change the copy. And actually this morning somebody opted in already. So it's already working. So that's great. So how do you do something like this? It's really only a two-step process. It's really easy, especially if you already have something that you're giving away already that's already working for you. Okay, so that's the goal here, to have this not take a lot of time, because if you actually have to now create a lead magnet, that's obviously going to take you a little bit of work. But if you already have something, then it's literally going to take 2 minutes. So step number one is you want to have some kind of system that you're using to make these beautiful upgraded pages. Okay, so I particularly use Leadpages. Okay, I don't design anything anymore on blogs like WordPress. I do not do WordPress anymore. I think I've explained this before to you, but I would gladly be doing, do it again, is because just WordPress, there's all these updates all the time, things break all the time, you need 100 million plugins for this to work, that to work, and this plugin breaks that plugin. No more. All right, and I just decided against it. Now I chose Leadpages, so the top two would probably be Leadpages and ClickFunnels. I chose Leadpages because the price didn't relate to like how many visitors you were getting. It was just like one flat price, and I like that over like being restricted as to how many visitors you can possibly get. And then if you got this many visitors, you have to pay more. That's kind of like my decision. And I really liked how Leadpages, I really like how customizable and easy and user-friendly it is now. So what I did was, another thing too is that Leadpages has a lot of testing that they do behind the scenes. And when you want to generate a new page, so I just go to Browse All Templates, and you can put them in an order. So they're sorted right now by conversion rate. And I just picked this one. So you can see that that's my lead page that I created, and I just, changed it to my own information, right? So very, very easy, and it's already a proven template to convert. So that's, it takes out all of the brain work. I don't have to be like a design conversion specialist to figure this stuff out, because they've already done it for me, right? Yeah, I'll have the link to Leadpages. I think I have a bonus if you purchase through me, so I'll have that in the description after we do this, okay? So so that's what I did, and that's why it literally took me less than an hour to put this all together, because I had the lead magnet, I had Leadpages, and I had everything that I can just make the connections with. I already had a funnel, because that was a funnel that I built, a while ago, and that was all working. I am doing, I'll show you what I'm doing now, because the 10 ways is actually a video series, and each video is a new page on my blog. And again, I told you, like, things are broken and they're just outdated, so I'm kind of updating those. So what I did is I took an old page, duplicated it, because you can duplicate any page, and this is the first day. So I have my contact information, and then here is the first day, or the first way to make money with publishing books, right? I was like, I think this video was filmed in, oh gosh, I don't know. I think like 7 years ago. It's old, but it's really good stuff. And I'm updating this, I'm updating the text, but I'm putting this stuff, I'm moving it from the blog, and I'm putting it onto Leadpages. So every day is kind of a new page, and they have a new way to connect with me in different ways there. Okay, so that's just kind of a taste. So that's why I love Leadpages. So that was step one, is to create a page, right? Now you might be saying, if you're smart, you're saying, well, that doesn't make sense, because if they go to, how do I get the new lead page onto my old blog? That's really, really simple, because all you need to do is upload a plugin. Oh, I can show you actually what the pages look like too. They're just hideous. This was the first one. And I was like trying to make changes, and it wasn't even like updating. I'm like, oh, I can't work with this anymore. So that's what they look like. So what you want to do is you want to go ahead, see if I can find it. Here we go. It's called Redirect WordPress to Welcome or Landing Page. Okay, it's by Eslam Mahmoud. This is the one that you want to find. So you want to find this exact plugin, because there are some other plugins that might do the same thing, but this is the one that I use. Redirect WordPress to Welcome or Landing Page. And Aslam is the person. Okay, just want to make sure. Okay, Magdiel, you're using Kartra. Okay, good. As long as you find one that works for you, there's a lot out there. Leadpages works for me. So you just have to find whichever one you're comfortable with. And I actually have a lot of fun designing these lead pages. It's good for me. I like it, because it's like I like kind of filling in the blanks. It's like paint by numbers type of thing. Okay, so redirect WordPress to welcome or landing page. Once you upload that and activate it, it's going to be in your settings, and then you want to go to redirect welcome page or lead page. This is kind of confusing here. Redirect the visitor every one. I just put every 1 minute, like just so every single time they go to my site, they get redirected to the new page. So here it is. You want to put the exact page. This is the page here. Now, you can do this another way through Leadpages, but I'm not exactly sure why or how. So I just do it this way, and it works fine. And then you can decide if you want the home page only or all pages. So I just did home page only. You save it, you go to your blog, you refresh it, and then voila, it is done. So you can go ahead and try different lead magnets if you want to. You could just leave it if you want. You can do whatever, but the point is that you should always, your first thought, their first action should be, how do I still capture leads? And if that's the only thing that you want people to see when they go to your old blog, then have a killer lead magnet, see if it works, change it up if it doesn't, and so you don't have to be wasting traffic. You don't have to have people looking at old stuff that you don't want them to see anymore necessarily. And it worked. It's a perfect solution. So let's just take a couple questions here. Yep, so Hilda, I think I explained that. William says, are the 10 videos available all at once or dripped over? They're dripped over every single day. It's like a video series, which is a great way to build build your know, like, and trust factor with somebody who doesn't really know you, okay? Having a video series. If you want your blog posts updated, you need to go through the process for each page separately. Well, this solves the problem here. You want to either choose the home page that you want redirected or all pages. Okay, so I just chose the home page because I think that's the one that's getting the most traffic. Well, I decided at some point to stop the old blog. I just don't think it's getting a bunch of traffic. I don't think like the individual posts are getting. If you have Google Analytics and you find that there's a particular post that's getting the most traction, I would update that. Like I don't update the whole blog, or maybe update the content on that. Like don't kill something that's doing great for you, right? So for me, I just didn't want people seeing content from 2014. That's kind of lame, right? So that's why I did mine. So you have to kind of decide what you want, like where your problem area is, and how do you hide that without doing a ton of work, right? Because you have other things to do. So the URL is right here, Hilda. It's right here in the WordPress plugin, redirect WordPress to welcome or landing page. You just set that redirection right there, and your old blog, so bookpublishingriches.com, goes to, oh, it's not boo, it's book. Publishingriches.com. Now it just goes to the lead page, okay? So it's redirecting it. Take off the date. Yeah, Donna, you could take off the date for sure. Mine was just old content too. That's just one page. How does it take all the posts if you tick that box? Yeah, so it'll redirect all of your posts to this one page if you choose that second option. Just go ahead and test it out and see for yourself how it's working. Does the redirect work even if someone has the old page bookmarked? Yeah, I believe so, because that's automatically going to redirect. But again, if you have bookmarkable stuff, you don't want to get rid of it, right? So you have to make the decision for yourself if you want to replace it or if you want to keep it, right? So if we could do this whole session again and say revive an old blog and say, oh, rehaul all the content, make all updated content, and remove the times, remove the date. You could do that too, right? This is just one strategy of how to revive an old blog, right? Yeah, so Donna with biggirlpoker.com, actually I placed fourth in a recent ladies tournament. So I know that you'd be proud of me. I just could not lose that day. Man, it was so awesome. I was making like all these loose calls because the buy-in was so low, I didn't care. And it was just all working out. Okay, Barb, thanks. Yeah, so Donna, you probably have content that's like ageless, right? It's evergreen. What worked in poker 5 years ago probably works today too. There's new strategies that come up, but with book publishing content, you know, not everything is relevant and evergreen. So that's not something else you want to think about too, right? So yeah, for sure. And ageless, it's actually a content strategy, right? Before you actually write your content, see, the Debbie today is probably smarter than the Debbie in 2014, but before you write your content and you spend all this energy, you say like, is this ageless? Is this evergreen? Because then I don't have to worry about issues like this, right?